And what is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my favorite free EQ for getting that really nice upfront hyperpop vocal sound. When I refer to hyperpop in this instance, I'm talking about Cardi, anything under the Opium label. You can definitely get that effect to sound good. We got a Destroy Lonely preset that we're going to use as an example right here. So definitely check that out in the description. You can also check everything else out. We have links to my vocal recording course, vocal mixing course, as well as our brand new Mastering Like a Pro video course if you really want to get that pro sound. And if you are looking for AI to master your music, as well as if you're looking for distribution, definitely check out our LANDR coupon below. You get $50 off for 1 year's worth of mastering. You also get access to a distribution service which will allow you to upload your music to Tidal, Spotify, you name it, you can do it, and it's really great. So definitely check that out. With that being said, let's hop straight into the video. All right, so the EQ today that we're going to be looking at is the Analog Obsession 5. Now this is pretty much a hybrid EQ. It's not really copying anything in particular, even though the GUI does kind of mimic a Neve style EQ, like a Shepard channel strip or something like that. Maybe it's inspired by that, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that it has all the characteristics that are needed for a really nice EQ, okay? So we're gonna listen to the example that we have. Again, check the preset link in the description. If you want the full vocal effect, you can also just search Destroy Lonely vocal preset, and you can find that video on YouTube for a full breakdown of everything that we're doing. Amazing stuff. But when it comes to this EQ, okay, there are certain requirements that I want. And A, it's that the EQ has a sound, and then B, that the EQ has enough flexibility for me to do all the things that I want to do, okay? That's generally going to be my first EQ that I use alongside a parametric equalizer, okay? Just using a parametric equalizer at times can leave you, feeling that you want more out of your EQ. So having something like this, amazing, all right? So let's take this to the track real quick, and then we shall, I'll guide you through what I'm doing right now.
Mercedes, yeah, on my side, nigga, don't play with this shit, you might just die today. Yeah, on the highway, sitting sideways, middle finger up, I had to do it my way. Broski going through a lot, I told him just pray. Finna break out the matrix and run away. Wait. I don't buy chains, bitch, I buy houses. We don't roll grams, bitch, we smoke ounces. And when I'm gone, you better give me all my flowers. Real one, I'm running to the bankroll. Yeah, real one, she doing what I say so. Yeah, fake friends, I just had to let go. I'm low key, I just keep it on the low. Wake up, no stylish, fresh as fuck, I put it on.
Alright, so there you go. As you can see, we can really fit in with any professional song once we really get the technique down, okay? And this EQ helps us achieve that. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I really like about this plugin is that it actually has a little bit of an input drive section, okay? So this means that I can actually increase the level of this or decrease it, and it'll actually contribute towards the overall kind of analog characteristic, okay? This is important, especially if you're on a budget and you need a free plugin. Having this available within the plugin is amazing, right? It's kind of 2-in-1. Now, the analog drive is going to give you a little bit of distortion. Again, the level changes quite a bit. That's why there's a trim knob right there. So you don't really want to go too overboard with it, but if you were wanting to add this in, I use the Farai's Vocal Enhancer, okay? This gives me a bit more flexibility. If you've got the money for it, definitely check it out. This is an amazing piece of tech for FL Studio. But if I was just to use this, check what this sounds like.
Mercedes, yeah, on my side, nigga, don't play with this shit, you might just die today. Yeah, on the highway, sitting sideways, middle finger up, I had to do it my way. Broski going through a lot, I told him just pray. Finna break out the matrix and run away.
Right, you can hear when I pull it to -24, suddenly it sounds like something is lacking. So obviously having it at 0 is doing something, but it's not as aggressive as having it at 24 plus. Then it's just full on distortion, which actually sounds pretty accurate to what would happen if you were to distort a mixing console channel strip. So really cool. Shout out to Analog Obsession. After that, right, we have our EQ section. Now, obviously we've got different bands within the EQ section. A lot of people ask me about, what does the LF stand for? What does LMF stand for? What does MF stand for? What does HMF stand for, okay? This is basically an old school parametric EQ setup where we split our whole frequency spectrum, right? Our whole frequency spectrum can be visually seen here, okay? Except what we do with this type of EQ is we split it into different categories, okay? This helps us visually understand what's going on. Again, when we mix with analog, there are limitations to how much you can put on an EQ. So the best way to kind of get around to achieving flexibility as well as, you know, getting a nice sound is to break down everything into different bands. So we've got our low frequency band, we got our low mid frequency band, we got our mid frequency band, and our high mid frequency band. Then I did miss the high frequency band. Now basically that just means that all of these blue knobs, okay, that have a HS or HZ label, right, which basically means frequency, that allows us to, you know, maneuver things where we want. So as you can see, I'm doing a cut of minus 2.9 dB at 200 hertz. Okay, so that means basically I'm finding 200 hertz and I'm dipping away a bit of frequency there. That's basically what we're doing. Okay, again, this is going to sound a bit more analog than this. This is why we are using it here, right? Otherwise we just do all of our cutting on one EQ. Okay, so that gives us that flavor. Now as you can see what I'm doing, really the frequencies in this instance are more relevant to the whole vocal preset. So I'm not going to tell you, you know, where to use what, okay, but I'm just going to give you a general rule of thumb. On the low frequency, I like to do a nice 200 cut. Okay, that's going to just basically do something like this. Okay, at 200 sounds great. Okay, from then on out, I'll then find the frequency that I want to treat in that low mid frequency region and then treat that. So you can see again, I'm doing a minus 1.5 cut at 120 hertz. Okay, skipping the mid frequency because I don't really need to do much there, you know, but you can again work from 330 hertz, which again is quite MIDI, all the way up to 2.5, which is going to give you that really nice kind of poke if you really wanted to get your vocal to poke. Let's see what that sounds like.
Wait, all but chains, bitch up.
Right, it can be a little bit harsh. This is why it's not really recommended to do too much boosting there. But as you can see right here at 16,000 hertz, I'm doing a bit of a boost. Okay, this is really nice on these hyperpop style vocals. It really opens up the vocal sound. Okay, and again, I mix that together with the high frequency boost of 9.3 kilohertz, right, which is basically just a boost like that. Again, we got a boost like that. We end up with a, you know, kind of frequency curve that looks something like that, which to me is good, right? You want something like this, you want to work in this general direction, and then you can do all of your really aggressive, you know, in-depth cuts with a more, you know, modern EQ. Okay, when you mix those two styles together, you just get an amazing vocal sound. Okay, again, you could use a stock plugin right here, whatever you've got in your DAW, through the parametric EQ, doesn't matter, but mixing those two styles together is just going to give you a really nice kind of blend, right? Let's just kind of find the drums right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the EQ so you can really hear what the difference, okay? Oh, we got this EQ still enabled. Let's turn that off. Right, when we have this bypass, we can actually hear the vocal kind of slips into the beat a bit too much. We don't really want that. So obviously once we do all of our processing,
real one, I'm running to the bedroom. Yeah, real one, she doing what I say so. Yeah, fake friends, I just had to let go.
Just giving us that little bit of extra lift, little bit of extra level on frequencies that we want, you know, getting rid of the frequencies we don't want and just helping us get that overall mix. So there you go. That's pretty much my EQ of choice for, you know, free EQ of choice, my bad, for mixing hyperpop style vocals. I'll leave the download link in the description so you can go and check it out. 100% free to download. It is available on Patreon from Analog Obsession. And yeah, as always, man, definitely check out the links in the description. We got all sorts of resources available, courses, different, you know, FL Studio based plugins and things like that. We also do one-on-one Zoom consultation. We also offer mixing and mastering service, $160. That's a usual promo price. So definitely check that out in the description. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.